හරිනේ. Aliris. Right. Then Newton's laws of motion. Okay. So Isaac Newton in 1685, 87. My mainly me Newton laws of motion ඉදිරිපත් කරලා තියෙනවා. හරි. ඒ කියන්නේ කැල්කියුලස් හොයාගත්තේ Isaac Newton තමයි. ඒකට මේ Isaac Newton තමයි ඔය classical mechanics වල කියන්නේ all era Newtonian physics පාගෙන ඉඳන් 19 ඒ කියන්නේ අවුරුදු 200ක විතර කාලයක්. ගොඩක් මිනිස්සු නිව්ටන් ලෝස් මත තමයි ගොඩක් දේවල් රිසර්චර්ස් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. නිව්ටන් කියන්නේ ඒ වගේ all the fields lights heats වල වගේ හැම ෆීල්ඩ් එකකම වගේ රිසර්ච් කරලපු එක එක සහ ඒ සම්බන්ධ එක එක දේවල් ඩෙවලොප් කරපු එක. ඕකේ තියෙනවා famous book එකක්. The name of the book is called the Principia. The Principia book is a short name. The long name is that the long name is the Philosophia Naturalis Principia Mathematica. That is the name of the book, the Latin name, the Philosophia Naturalis Principia Mathematica. Right? Its English name is that the mathematical principle of natural philosophy. ඔන්න ඔකට තමයි Principia book එක කියලා කියන්නේ. ඔන්න ඔය පොතේ තමයි මෙන්න මේ Newton laws, Kepler's law, Kepler's laws, all the laws are included in that book. ඒව ලියලා publish කරපු පොත. මේක අපිට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ there are 3 laws that's related to the motions. Very fundamental laws there. So the first law මේක දා discuss කරා පොඩි activities උත් කරා නෙමෙයි මට නේද? හරි. First law said that if there is no force acted on the body, let's see, this no force acted on the body, so it should be remains as rest. Rest එකේ තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Or if there is no force acted on the moving body, right? Actually, we have to write in that way. If the body is at rest, if there is no force acted on it, it should be remains as rest. If the body is moving, but if there's no any resultant force acted on it, then it should be moving with the constant velocity. So that is the Newton's first law, right? So if there's no force acted on the body, it should be remain at rest or moving with a constant velocity. So remember that the simulation I showed you today also I'm going to show you it, right? And you all can see this simulation, right? Let's see the small one. You can see the speed values and I'll share this with you. Initially, I will apply that's a 50 Newton force to the right side. So then give small motion there. You can see that the speed of this cartoon increases with the time. Yeah, you can see right, this speed is increasing. Okay, I'll return it to the position. And again, I'll give the small push. I'll give the equal force to the other side. So what's happened? It will not stop. You can see that speed will not change. It means for moving with the constant speed. That's a Newton first law. Clear? And return to this position. You can see how the two forces acted for the direction. You can see the initially the body is at rest. Let's give the most. You can see that is not moving. It is remain at rest. So that is the Newton's first law. The second law says that if there is a resultant force, that should be equal to the rate of change of the momentum of the body. I will apply another force to there. You can see that if the force is increases, so this side has a resultant force, so it's moving to this direction. So let's see what's happened to the other case. So here we can stop, decelerate, and then again increase. the velocity other side, the direction change. When you increase the, you can see always it tends to move towards the uh, larger force, direction of the larger force, right? Okay. Later you can go through this. There are many different cases also. You can check whether the friction and other thing, the acceleration thing, and some activities are there. You can find the mass of unknown using this also. I will share this simulation with you, and then you can try it more. Clear? Okay, now we come to the report. There are many simulations you can, it will help you to get understanding about some difficult theories to understand, right? So I'll share it this group and okay, I'll give the link to your WhatsApp group and you go there and then try it. Skip. Okay, then Newton's second law. Actually, the first law, there's no any numerical things to get, but I'll explain more details about this first law later. I'll mention you the three laws and then go one by one. This first law actually said about the inertia of a body. So we call this law as a law of inertia. And also this first law, it's define the force, right? So we can define the force using the first law. You already know that the force is an external agent which change the nature of its motion or change the shape of the body. So that means the Newton's first law gives the qualitative um, definition of the force, not the quantitative one, right? මෙතනම කියනවා එකක් කියලා මම හිතුවේ easy. According to the Newton first law, such that there is no any external force acted on the body, it remains at rest or with the constant velocity. Actually, it means you that the itself, or the body itself cannot change its nature of the motion, right? It means that it's inertia. So that's the thing. So that's why we can call that first law said about the inertia. And the definition of the force is that to change the nature of the motion, you need to apply some ability externally to there. So we call that ability is the force. So then force can define as the external agent which can change the nature of its motion. But I am saying that this qualitative this definition, because of the quantitative one, by applying a force, you can change the shape or size of a body also. So that's right. Because if this definition will not complete in Newton's first law, it's not completely defined the term force, right? Okay. Explanation එකත් මම ඔයාලට ඔකේ දීලා දෙනවා. when exam එකකදී වගේ අහුවොත් එම you have to write it, right? Second law. මේක තමයි ගොඩක් ගණන් හදන්නේ එහෙම තියෙනවා. හරි. The second law said about this any force acted on the body, external force acted on the body is proportional to the rate of change of the wave. You know that when you apply the force, then it starts the motion. Start the motion means this momentum will change because of its acceleration, right? So then this force applied that's directly proportional to the rate of change of the linear momentum of the body. And the direction of the force should be the direction of the change of rate of change of the momentum or momentum change. Clear? Momentum change in a direction force apply. So that is the Newton's second law. By using this analyze this law, we can derive the expression for the moving body as a fundamental equation. Later we go into this. Later, am I considering that the body or the system which is the mass remains constant. Let me first consider that the mass constant. Mass එක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැති system එකක් හිතමු. Similar like it's a body, it's a mass of m that's moving with the velocity u initially by under the force F acted on it. Its velocity increased to uv under the force F, right? It's at time t equals 0. This is after time t. So then the momentum, initial momentum is mu, final momentum is mv, both in same direction. And then the rate of change of the momentum, you can write in the momentum change. You can write the momentum change, that is mv minus mu divided by the time take. You can write this as v minus u. The v minus u, that's a change in velocity divided by the time taken. It's called the acceleration of the body. Yeah. So then the rate of change of the momentum, you can write as the mass into the acceleration. So according to Newton's second law, then a proportional rate of change of the momentum, then F proportional mass into acceleration. So you can write as F equals the constant times ma. The K means this is a proportionality constant. So by the definition of the SI units of the force, we can say this K equals 1, right? Then we can say that F equals m. How? So what is the definition of 1 Newton or Newton? So 1 Newton is defined as when a body of mass 1 kilogram to move with the acceleration 1 meters per square second, the force should be applied on it equals to the 1 Newton. So 1 Newton is defined like that. It's a force required to make the motion of a body with to make an acceleration 1 meters per square second of a body of mass 1 kilogram. Clear? So by applying to this equation, you can write then Kma, F equals 1 Newton, and Km is 1 and mass is 1. Then you can write acceleration is 1 and mass is 1, K equals 1. So in SI system, we can say that the K equals 1. So that equation you can write as F equal m. But to remember this, then you need to keep in mind that only in SI unit system you can write F equal m. If not, in the other system, you have some this value of this constant will be different in other unit system. Only SI unit system you can say that is F equal ma. It's clear? This is a Newton's second law. That is the case I'm considering that mass is invariant with the motion. Mass වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ move with. The mass වෙනස් වෙන system එකක් ගත්තොත් let's consider that's water coming out from a pipe or tube. You can write the mass always varying mass system. So then if you send this water ejected out from a pipe towards the wall or any other barrier, so it exerts a force on the barrier. So that case also we can apply this Newton's laws of motion. You need to keep in mind when you applying this one, the force should be constantly applied to the body during the motion. Let's see if the force is applied initially and then let's see just like an impulsive force. අපි නිකන් බෝලේට පයින් ගහුවා කියන්නේ දැන් කකුල දිගටම පයින් යදිලා තියෙන්නේ නැහැනේ. අනේ ඒ වගේ එකකට මේක දාන්න බෑ නිව්ටන්ස් මොකද ඒකන force is not there for the motion throughout the motion. Then the applicant we given energy to this ball by applying a force on it initially, when we can get the kinetic energy until the kinetic energy vanished out, so the body will move. Okay, let's this one. Then consider that mass varying, or that's a body or any system which mass is varying and is remaining the constant velocity. So one of the example for this one is that's a conveyor belt, or that's a liquid ejecting out from a tube, like likewise cases, right? Yeah, consider that conveyor belt. Conveyor belt means that's a belt used to transport goods to one place to another. Normally in factories, you know that in knowledge chore, all power plants also they use this one. Get very large distance from jetty to the grand area. They send the calls that's taken from the barges uh, using this conveyor belts. So there are driving motors to run this belt, right? So then to make this belt with a constant velocity, move with a constant velocity, this driving motor should apply the force on the belt. So that force you can calculate using the Newton's second law. Let's say this is an silo. This is a silo which filled with four low in the goods there. And then with the constant rate, always the mass is loaded to this belt, right? Let's say the rate of change of the mass is delta m over delta t. As an example, let's see it is 100 kilograms per second. We're taking on. And the velocity v, let's see it is moving with 5 meters per second. The spring. And මේ පැත්තේ දුවන අපි මොකක් හරි collect කරගන්න එකක් යන්න. Always. So to run this belt with the constant velocity, that the driving motor should apply the force on the belt. So how we calculate then? We know that the force is directly proportional. Actually, we can write it is equals to the rate of change of the momentum because that proportionally constant equals 1 in SI system. And we can write this. The momentum is mass into the velocity. So here the velocity is constant, so it will not change with the time. Then we can take the V out here. Then you can write that delta M over delta T times V. Right? So in this scenario also you can calculate the force. In this system you can say that's the mass is varying only, but velocity remains constant. And in this system, this example, how we can get the force then? The rate of change of the mass is 100 kilograms per second. Velocity is 5. So it is 500 Newton force should be applied by this I-beam motors. Here. The example. This can also be applied to the liquid coming out from a pipe. Let's see here the liquid jet, the pipe of cross-sectional area A, and then the liquid is there. That liquid come out from this tube with the velocity V. Right? So this is at time delta t equals 0. After the delta t time, the liquid come out from the tube with this much of liquid come out, right? So මේක ගිහිලා මොකක් හරි මෙහෙම මේ වගේ වෝල් එකක වැදිලා වදින එක ගැන පස්සේ ගමුකෝ හරි ගිහිලා කොහේ හරි මේ වගේ වෝල් එකක වැදිලා මේකට පැරලලි යනවා කියලා හිතමු කියන ආයේ රිබවුන්ඩ් වෙන්නේ ඒකට අපි බලන්නේ දැන් මේ ලික්විඩ් එකේ හින්දා මේ වෝල් එක මත ඇති වෙන ෆෝස් එක මොකක්ද? We are going to calculate that the force exerted on the wall due to the liquid jet. Making එළියට එන මේ liquid එළියට එන rate එක හොයාගන්න you can find that the velocity v in. So the distance traveled during this delta t time you can write is v delta t. So then this much of liquid come out, this volume. The volume of this liquid come out during this time is the volume you can write. How we can write the volume then? V delta t is the distance and multiplied by the area. Right? So the density of the liquid, let's say rho, and then mass come out during this time, that's the delta m. It is volume into the density. The volume is V delta t into A and density is rho. So rate of change of the mass ejected out from the tube, you can write then V delta t A rho divided by delta t. The time. Delta t cancel. This is A rho V. So this is the way you writing the liquid or any, let's say the wind also, wind is blowing and then hits on the wall. And it's exert a force on the wall then. ඔය cardboard එකක් කරන තිබ්බා නිකන් force එකක් එන ඉඳන් ඒව වැනෙන්නේ. ඒකට that's කොච්චර area එකකටද වදින්නේ මොනවාද density and the velocity. එකෙන් ඔයාලට ගන්න පුළුවන් the rate of change of the mass. So mass flow rate එක මොකක්ද කියලා. මේ. So after it hits on the wall and it exerts a force, let's say after the striking, it's moving parallel to the wall. So that means the final momentum is zero. Initial, then the change in momentum is that's the mass come out into the velocity. It's initial one because final momentum is zero. It moves parallel to the wall. Like a rebound, you know that how to get the change in momentum, which will double 2m delta mv. So rate of change of the momentum, it is a force exerted, right? This is delta m over delta t into v. Delta m over delta t you can write as a rho v and multiply by v. Then the force is a rho v square. So this is the force experience on the ball by the liquid jet. Yeah. If liquid jet is rebound with the same velocity, this will multiply by 2 because the momentum will be doubled. Here angle looking out, this will be a rho v square cos theta. By more angle again. Method එක තමයි කිව්වේ කලින් කියලා දුන්නා change in momentum ගන්න විදිය. Similar to this, you need to apply it to the system to calculate the force experienced by the flowing liquid or any other materials. අපි මොකකින් හරි ගැහුවොත් එහෙම බිත්ති එකනේ ඒකේ force එකක් එන්නේ ඒ විදියට තමයි. කාට හරි දැන් මම මොකකින් හරි බෝල් එකකින් බිත්ති එකට ගමත් it's experience a force on the ball, right? Here you need to know something here, right? So when this experience the force, you know that the force experience on the liquid will be the opposite side. Then equal force experience on the wall, the other side. This given by the Newton's third law. Direction එකේ ඉන්නේ third law එකෙන් තමයි. මොකද ඔතනින් එන්නේ අපිට magnitude of the force. හරිනේ මම මේක මකනවා මේ ටික මම end out එකේ දාලා තිබෙන්නේ මම නිකන් වැඩි. Another example එකක් විදිහට ගත්තේ if you want to write something you can write there. The force experienced by the liquid jet කියලා. ඔන්න මේව ලියාගන්න මේකේ you need to know that after the striking, consider after the striking the liquid will move parallel to the wall. අරන් තියෙන්නේ එහෙමයි අරගත්තේ හරි. දැන් ඕක rebound වුණා නම් වෙන ඒ විදිහට velocity එකකින් when you consider the change in momentum, it will be delta m v minus v, that will be 2v කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. 2 delta m. So මේක double වෙන එක විතරයි වෙන්නේ. idea එකක් දුන්නේ. Fundamental එක මෙතනින් තමයි යන්නේ ඔක්කොම. ඒකට Newton's second law is not only the F equal ma. The Newton's second law you can write in that way, that is F equals delta m over delta t into v also. In these days, you know that's in our decision. So අර තියෙනවනේ එක අහස් ස්කෝල් තියෙන flycatchers කියලා සද්ද යනේවත්. ඒ අහස් කූරක වැඩ කරන ප්‍රින්සිපල් එක මේකම තමයි. හරි. ඒකේ මාස් එක කියන්නේ අපි බර්න් කරාම වෙන්නේ මාස් එක බර්න් අවුට් වෙනවා. බර්න් වෙලා එළියට විදිනවා ගෑස් එකක්. හරි. එළියට මෙහෙම විදිනවා. විදිනකොට its momentum will be changed. Due to the rate of change of the momentum, it experience a force. That force experience on the gas ejected downward. According to the Newton's third law, it's experience equal and opposite force on the other part. So it's moving upward. තමයි මේ ආස්කුර වැඩ කරන්නේ. ලෝකේ රොකට් එක හොයාගත්තේ කලින් මුලින්ම හොයාගත්තේ ආස්කුර. තමයි ඔය ආස්කුර තමයි මුලින්ම හොයාගත්තේ. පස්සේ තමයි රොකට් එකට ඔය ප්‍රින්සිපල් එකම තමයි ඇප්ලයි කරලා තියෙන්නේ. රොකට් එකක් හොයාගෙන ඔය යන්නේ අපි ආකාශයට ගන්න රොකට් එක තියෙන්නේ ඔය ආස්කුරේ තියෙන same principle. ඒ ප්‍රින්සිපල් එකම තමයි. හරි. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉස්සර ඕක පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ දුණු විදිහින්. දැන් දුන්නකින් මෙහෙම නිකන් විද්දාම ඊතලේ යන්නේ පොඩි දුරයි. ওই විදිහට මේ ඒකට වෙඩි බෙහෙත් දාලා අත්තු කරනවා යවනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ දුන්න යාගේ මැක්සිමම් හයිට් එකට එනකොට අර වෙඩි බෙහෙත් අත්තු වෙලා එතනින් වැඩි ෆෝස් එකක් එන්න. ඒකට ඒකට පුළුවන් දුන්නට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඊට වඩා වැඩි දුරකට ඊට පස්සේ මොකද අතනින් එන පවර් එකෙන් විදිනවනේ ආස්පුරක් විදිනවා වගේ. ඊට පස්සේ මේ දුන්න ඊටාලේ පුළුවන් කලින් ගියාට වඩා වැඩි දුරක් යන්න. ඕකට තමයි චයිනීස් ලයිස්තර කාලේ ඔය මේක යූස් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. පස්සේ තමයි මේ මෙතඩ් එකටම රොකට් එකක් හදන්න පුළුවන් කියන concept එක. හරි. ඒ කියන්නේ concept එන්නේ යන්නේ එහෙම. The small thing, small concept, but it's make a bigger thing later. By developing it, you can make bigger thing. හරි. කරමු මේක. If you have any questions, you can ask, right? විනාඩි 8කින් විතර මේක ක්ලාස් එකේ මේ සෙෂන් එක ඊට පස්සේ ආයෙ ජොයින් වෙන්න. හරි. මම ආයෙ link එක දාන්නම්. මම නිකන් එක්සැම්පල් එකක් කියන්නනේ. හරි. අපි හිතමු ඔය ආස්පුරක් තියෙනනේ ඉරක්ක් නේ. මේක අපි හිතමු මේක බර්න් වෙලා 5 grams per second මේක eject out වෙනවා කියලා. 5 grams per second burn out, right? So then this moving with the velocity with respect to the gas ejected out, right? With let's say it is 10 meters per second, sorry, we move the down. So then due to the burning of this wheel, so the force experience on the body, then you can calculate its rate of change of the mass into the velocity. So that is 5 grams, 5 into 10 to the minus 3 kilograms per second multiplied by the velocity. So it will be minus 3 Newton. That means 0.05 Newton. අනේ වගේ ෆෝස් එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් ඔය උද්ඝෝෂණ වලට ගිහිලා ගහන්නේ අර ලික්විඩ් වතුර ගහන්නේ. ඒකෙදිත් එන්නේ නැහැ මම ඉස්සල්ලා කිව්වා වගේ මේක තමයි මේව වතුර වදිනවා කියන්නේ. දැන් අපි කලින් එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් බැලුවා if v was a rho v is target. බලන්න මේ ෆෝස් එක වැඩි කරන්න පුළුවන් factors මොනවද? By increasing the area. The larger the tube is make a larger force appearance, right? And by increasing density, instead of using the normal water, if you use the salt, that's seawater. Seawater has density greater than the normal water, and also අපේකට තව වෙන මොන හරි ටිකක් මොන හරි chemical salt මොන හරි දෙත් කරලා ගත්තොත් එහෙම it's experience the larger force and also the velocity. මේ eject කරන velocity ගන්න තමයි force එක වැඩි කරන්න පුළුවන්. Clear? Okay, I'll erase this all then. The next is a Newton's third law. Then third law එකට එන්න කලින් පොඩි එකක් කියන්න. දැන් some systems are there, both the mass and velocity are changed. Then also you can apply the Newton's second law for that kind of systems too, right? That's force is the rate of change of the momentum. So this is mass into velocity. And if the mass at the time you consider that the mass into the rate of change of the velocity plus the velocity, the relative velocity into rate of change of the mass burning out කරලා එළියට දාන mass. And you can use this principle. Newton's second law තමයි. The both the velocity and mass changing system එක මෙහෙම ගන්න පුළුවන්. rocket එකක වෙන්නේ ඒක තමයි. rocket එක ඇත්තටම initially තමයි ඒක constant force එකක් වගේ එන්නේ, but ගොඩක් move වෙනකොට එයාගේ mass එක ගොඩක් අඩු වෙනවා. මොකද ඒකේ තියෙන අර fuel tanks ඒ ඔක්කොම ගලව අයින් කරනවා ඊට පස්සේ. හරි. huge rate එකකින් mass එක burn out වෙයි යනවා. fuel ගොඩක් යන්නේ. එතකොට ඒකෙන් තමයි ඒකට අවශ්‍ය required thrust එක ගන්න. If that thrust force is greater than the weight of the rocket, then it will push up. at a time මොකක් හරි කරලා ගත්තොත් එimhe මේ මාස් එක වෙන්නේ එතකොට දැන් ඉනිෂියලි තිබ්බ රොකට් මාස් එක නෙවෙයි. අපි ඒ කන්සිඩර් කරන වෙලාවේ ඒක ඉතුරු වෙලා තියෙන මාස්. දැන් එතකොට රොකට් එකක වැඩේ වෙන්නේ දැන් ඕකට එන ෆෝස් එක නිකන් ma කියලා ඇක්සලරේෂන් වෙන වෙලාවේ දැම්මොත් ඒක ලිව්වොත් මොකද ඒක උඩට ගියාම මේ අපි හිතමුකෝ ග්‍රැවිටි එකෙන් එළියට ගියා කියලා එතකොට no gravity weight එක කන්සිඩර් ගන්න ඕනේ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Then acceleration is we can assume that in some range the force experience on it is same because a constant rate of mass changing. So එතකොට මෙන්න මේ mass එක අඩු වෙන හින්දා what happened to the acceleration? Its mass reduces, this remains almost constant, then acceleration increases. So when rocket motion එකකට ගත්තොත් how the velocity change with the time? It's moving like this. Velocity always increases with the time as acceleration increases. You can see that gradient increases. rocket එක ගත්තොත් ඒ වගේ both are changing. Sorry. Hi. rocket propulsion ගැන පොඩි ඒ කියන්නේ rocket එක ටිකක් මීට වඩා අපිට වැඩි විස්තරයක් කරමු. මොකද rocket එකක් ඇතුලේ momentum conservation එක වැලිඩ් වෙනවා. ඒක ගැන වෙනම ආයෙ පස්සේ දාලා දෙන්නම්. හරිද? rocket එකකට අපි කියන්නේ it's rocket motion of rocket නෙමෙයි but we call it the propulsion of rocket. ප්‍රවාලනය වෙන අපක් වෙන්නේ. හරි. This third law say that to every reaction has equal and opposite reaction. If I hits on this ball hits on my hand. So that's the same force experience on my hand, right? So if there is a two bodies in contact to each other, this one body push the body, this body, and let's say this is AB, and A push on B, and B push on A, equal and opposite. This is safe. BA, this is safe AB. Right. Again, this force on B, this force on A. Newton's third law. Then you can say then if BA that's equals to minus FAB. Equal and opposite. But in magnitudes, these two forces are equal. Magnitude wise, they are equal. In the direction in opposite. හැමතිස්සෙම දැන් අපි ඇවිදින්නෙත් එහෙම තමයි. මේ කකුල අපි වට තියලා what we doing we push ground backward. So in the ground push on the forward. That's how we can move. Equal and opposite force experience on us to make the motion. Let's see if they are in a smooth flow එකක හිටියොත් මොකද? අර force එක දෙන්න විදියන්නේ. ගන්න විදියක් නැහැ මොකද flow එක. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට ඇවිදින්න බෑ smooth flow එකේ ඉන්නේ. friction තියෙන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම force එක frictional force එකෙන් තමයි ඒකට අපි මේ යන්නේ. clear? vehicle එක move වෙනකොටත් එහෙම තමයි. එයා tires වලින් full මේ කියන්නේ earth එක මේ ground එක backward push කරනවා. earth එකෙන් තමයි ground එකෙන් tires forward push කරනවා. rocket එකක් ගියත් එමය ඒ rocket එකේ gas එක downward push කරද්දී gas එකෙන් on the rocket upward push එකක් දෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා තමයි මේ යන්න බලන්නේ. So we call these two forces as action and reaction. Action and reaction.